Time to rally people into the chopping block.
At the bottom of these mini-bosses, at number 39, is Mr. Chimes, where only 14.2% of players even enjoyed this fight to begin with, only 0.2 considered it to be their favorite boss, and almost 5% thought it was the worst boss in the game, leading to a final score of only 4.8. This one's again not too surprising to me, as in addition to being an airplane level, the fact that you have to actually rub some brain cells together to play a memory matching game in order to even deal any damage in the fight is pretty off-putting to many people. And I think in general, many players prefer the boots on the ground boss fights as opposed to the airplane ones, and I think this is likely due to more movement options as well as being able to use the different weapons the game has to offer. Mr. Chimes is then followed by Hocus Pocus, and then the Tipsy Troupe, both not having many people enjoying their fights at all, and a decent amount considering them the worst in the game. Personally, I don't mind Hocus that much, but I also think that the fight against the Alcoholics is one of the weakest in the game. Then next up, surprisingly to me, is Honey Bottoms, who comes in at number 36 with a measly score of 14.4, as only about a fifth of players enjoyed this fight, less than 1% consider it their favorite, and over 5% consider it the worst. I guess it may be the vertically moving platforms here that cause a lot of players to dislike this fight, but honestly, I didn't think players would
I actually have the correct roses needed to do something special.
Lower than several mini-bosses in the game. And then following
I
this
just need to
trend,
confirm.
next up we got Wally Warbles. Less than a quarter of players enjoyed this fight, less
I have
than
the diamonds necessary as well.
And 5.5%
For those who know what I'm talking about, they know.
I kind of agree with this ranking. There are certainly much better airplane fights in the game. And next up, we have a bunch more mini-bosses. Pirouetta at number 34, then the Pawns, Fear Lap, Pip and Dot, as well as the Queen, having scores ranging from 15.6 to 21.9. I don't think it's very surprising that the mini-bosses aren't favored as much in general, as there's just not all too much to them. Although some of the designs, animations, and music may be good, they are basically just one phase, so they're usually over with pretty quickly and thus aren't nearly as memorable. I will say though, although I agree that the Pawns are probably the least interesting of the King's League fights, I'm quite surprised that the Queen was rated this low. I thought that fight was really creative, albeit pretty short. Anyways, next up, just barely beating out the Queen is probably the boss that most players want first when playing this game for the first time,
That's a lot of...
Although this is, so far, one of the highest percentage of people that enjoyed this fight at almost 28%, almost 5% of people voted this as the least favorite boss. I suppose it makes sense, as being essentially a tutorial boss, Goopy doesn't do all too much, and the design is quite literally just a blue blob that punches you every once in a while. However, like that you end up with a grave, but where people were both coming from. Next up is Baroness von Bonbon, who got a mixed bag of likes and dislikes, leading to a score of 25. So I didn't really want to break this fight down to all of the individual mini bosses, as that would be granular, but I think that may be what detracts from this boss fight. Now sure, some might like fighting against Gumball Bro or any of the other sweet treats, but the actual fight against the Baroness really boils down to her one phase of chasing you with her castle and tossing her heads your way. And next are three more mini-bosses, all scoring really closely together. Here's Medigan, Mr. Wheezy, as well as the Bishop. Not really much else to say about these that I haven't already about the mini-bosses. They're all short fights and all kind of forgettable. And coming in at number 24 is Hilda Bird, being the first boss so far of reaching having more than 30% of people enjoying playing the stage at all. Just barely over a percent consider this the best boss, and 2.6% considered it the worst. Although this fight does have some pretty wacky character designs, I'm personally not a huge fan of it, and I think there are definitely some better airplane fights, like Jimmy the Great, who is coincidentally next on our list. More people enjoyed this fight and considered it the best, but also more people think Jimmy sucks, as 3.9% of respondents consider him to be the worst boss in the game. The combat and final phases are really cool, but the first first two I don't think are too special at all, and I'm sure that factored into how people perceive Jimmy as a fight overall. Next up, we got another King's Leap fight with the Knight, where you're tasked with constantly parrying his head when the guard is lower. Kind of a mixed bag of scores for this one, and although it may not be as loved of a fight since it's needed less, I'm surprised to see it beat out several main bosses in this game. And next up is our first Delicious Last Course DLC boss on this list, Lungstone the Giant, where surprisingly only about a third of players enjoyed this battle, but on the other hand, it wasn't really many people's favorite or least favorite. Now, I honestly thought this was a pretty enjoyable fight with all of the gnomes and literally fighting a digestive system, but I guess people kinda just found this fight, as the youth say, mid. But not quite as mid as the next boss, who is literally in the middle of this list at number 20, good old Beppy the Clown here. And yeah, there's definitely a mixed reaction to me this year, with around 36% of people enjoying this boss at all, 3% considering him the best, and almost 5% considering him the worst. I will admit that I'm really biased against Beppy, him being one of my personal least favorite bosses in the game, but it's interesting to me to see that quite a bit of people have a love for this boss. Next, finishing out the King's Leap mini-bosses is the Rook, who at number 19 overall here ranked as the most popular boss in the castle. Only 0.5% of people hated this fight, and 0.8% loved it. But overall, people still enjoyed it to at least some degree, and I agree, this was my favorite parry fight in the bunch as well. And for the second major DLC boss on this list, next up is Mortimer Freeze, where 35.7% of players enjoyed this boss, 1.3% thought it was the best, and only 0.6% considered it the worst, resulting in a score of 37.1. I honestly thought this fight was really awesome, and I enjoyed all of the phases, especially against the Yeti that turns into a bridge. Hell yeah. Moving on, at number 17, we have Sally Stage Play, where we have another mixed bag of scoring here, as almost 36% of people enjoyed this fight, 2.9% considered it the best, and 1.9% hated it. Although the attacks from Sally may not be the most interesting, I think the story that's told throughout the fight, if you pay attention to it, makes this fight really unique. But I guess after you see it once or twice, all you're really left with are a deranged lady fighting you, babies throwing bottles at you, oh, and some deities. That one's actually pretty cool. Then at number 16, we have the lone airplane boss fight of the DLC against Esther Winchester. I know a lot of people have expressed to me that they really enjoyed this fight, and I guess that shows, as it beat out two other ground-based DLC bosses here. Just over 35% enjoyed this fight, 3% considered it the best, and 1.5% thought it was stupid. And next, the highest rated mini-boss in the whole game, beating out several other full bosses, is, surprisingly, Mango Steam. Only 0.4% considered this boss the worst in the game, 1.3% thought it was the best, and only 37% of players enjoyed this mini-boss fight. Now, 37% may not seem like much, but take into account this is at least a solid 10% more than any of the other King Dice mini-bosses in the game. And honestly, I don't really know the reason. It's an alright fight, and Mango Steam's design as an 8-ball is pretty neat, but it's super easy. I guess maybe that's why people like it so much. Then coming in at number 14 is the Seeker boss found at the end of the DLC, the Angel and Demon, who here received a mix of ratings resulting in a final score of 39. Although it was a really cool fight at first, seeing and fighting against the devil again, overall the fight is pretty short-lived with only the one phase. So it's a cool little secret, but I reckon this may have lowered the score for many people. Now going way back to near the beginning of the game, at number 13 is the Root Pack, where 39.5% of people enjoyed the fight, 1.4% loved it, and 1.6% hated it. This fight, I think, is one of the more memorable fights in the whole game, as you fight a bunch of wacky vegetables and make an onion cry. And it's interesting to see the big score difference between these.
You don't really do anything, you just start crying.
Who are both intro bosses on Isle 1. One of these fights is certainly less hated than the other. And, coincidentally, also from Isle 1, next are Riley and Crows, who come in as the first boss fight that over 40% of people enjoyed. It's a fun and goofy fight. I mean, the frogs literally just transform into a slot machine because reasons. 2.4% think the duo is the bee's knees, and it made 1.9% of people crow. Coming in at that the 11th place here is Captain Friday Beard, where almost 42% of players enjoyed this fight, very hated it, and 3.2% thought it was the best, leading to a score of 46.8. Now, I don't want to say this one surprised me too much, but I definitely thought more people wouldn't be fans of the captain being stationary in the top right of the screen for most of the fight. But hey, on the other hand, you also get to fight the uvula of a ship, so there's that. Now, finally getting to the top 10 bosses in the game, first here is, I guess, quite a controversial one. 46.7% of players enjoyed the boss fight against Grim Matchstick, at least to some extent, then pretty evenly matched. 7.2% thought it was the best, and a whopping 6.7% Grim is the worst boss in the game. Grim Matchstick is one of the harder bosses in Cuphead, no doubt, and I've got numerous comments from people saying that this is the boss that they ended up getting stuck on and couldn't progress through the rest of the game. So I guess I can really see why some people have a bone to pick with Grim. Next at the 9th spot is actually the last and highest rated airplane fight in the game, the battle against Calamaria. Almost 46% of people enjoyed this fight, which, bear in mind, is like 11% more than the second most enjoyed airplane fight against Esther Winchester. 5.8% of people absolutely love this fight, and 3.2% despise it, leading to a score of 51.1. I think I personally prefer the fight against Esther because you get to dodge sausage links and steak, but the battle against Kala is also really fun. There may also be some other factors that result in people choosing this fight as their favorite too. And speaking of which, next at number 8 are the Howling Aces, and this doesn't surprise me at all, as when I did a poll on the DLC bosses a few months ago, the Flying Doggos absolutely decimated the competition. And I don't want to point any fingers, but apparently many people have a fondness for a certain member of the Howling Aces.
I hate her in particular.
Enjoyed this battle in some capacity. 3.9 considered it the best boss fight, and very few considered it the worst. Up next is a placement that kind of surprised me at number 7, the Phantom Express. Now, personally, I don't think this boss fight is all too interesting, and I'm not a fan of the moving part mechanic, but I digress. 47.2%.
You know what's even worse than the moving part mechanic in that? Thus, the moving part mechanic in the Doggos.
Next, we got the King Dice himself, where 48.8% of players enjoyed this battle, almost 5% thought it was the best, and 2.1% thought it was the worst. Since we separated all of the mini-bosses, we're just looking at this fight against the King himself, which in itself ends up being basically just a mini-boss fight too, as there's only one phase and attack that the King has. So honestly, I'm kind of surprised that this many people consider this to be the best boss in the game, but I reckon that a lot of people probably voted for KD here for the entirety of the fight, including the mini-bosses. Now finally diving into top 5 territory, first up is the Moonshine Mob, with 47.5% of players at least somewhat enjoying the fight. A large 6.4% consider it the best fight in the game, and only 0.7% consider it the worst, resulting in a final score of 58.9. Now, I really like this boss fight. Most of the phases are really fun, the designs and background characters are cool, the fake knockout is super memorable, and hey, not only did they resurrect an attack from a previously scrapped boss, but they also resurrected this spider, who was a previously scrapped boss himself. What's not to love? Now, next up at number 4, we have the final boss of the base game, Mr. Devil himself, where for the first time so far, over half of players enjoyed this battle, and by a decent amount actually, at 60.8%, which is actually the second highest in the game in this statistic. On the flip side though, only 3.3 consider this fight the best in
I got nothing. They dropped nothing.
game, and very few thought it was the worst. I think this fight is honestly a really good climax to Cuphead and offers a good challenge that in turn offers a very rewarding feeling after completing it. It may not be many people's favorite boss in the game, but enough people enjoy it at least somewhat to bring El Diablo here to such a high rating. Now that's one final boss, but next up is the final boss for the Delicious Last Course DLC, Chef Saltbaker, who quite a few people see as the best boss fight in the game. Although, like I just said, I think the fight against the devil is awesome, I agree with this final boss fight being a bit better, as I think the attacks and phases are all more unique and have a ton more charm. And of course, Saltbaker can't be forgiven for his sins, so defeating him is super satisfying. Now coming in at the number 2 spot is Werner Vermin. Although only around 57.4% of players enjoyed this fight, quite a few people considered it the best, and very few the worst, resulting in a score of 72.2. I really enjoyed this fight, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised to see the old rat here score this highly compared to many of the other bosses. I gotta admit though, the fact that we see Werner end up controlling the cat at the end of this fight is one of the biggest bamboozles in this game. And now finally, by process of elimination, at the number 1 spot is none other than Flatboy. Now, I'll be the first to admit that there was likely some bias from my audience for this one, as Cagney Carnation has become a sort of meme on my channel for years now. But nonetheless, almost 3/4 of players at least somewhat enjoy this boss, only 1.5% consider Cagney the worst, and beating out the rest of the bosses by a long shot, a whopping 13.2% of players consider Flatboy to be the best boss fight in the game, leading to a colossal score of 97.6, a whole 25 points more than the number 2 spot. Now, as I've seen how people voted, I'm sure many will disagree with how the bosses are ranked here, and with the one exception of maybe some Flatboy bias, I think this gives us a really good look into which bosses are generally considered to be the best and worst in Cuphead. At the end of the day, though, you like what you like, so whatever your favorite boss is all that should matter to you. And hey, if you're that one person that voted Tipsy Troop as your favorite boss, all the power to you, pal. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's my first time doing something like this, and I'd like to do more in the future, so please let me know what you think in the comments below.
I would have been surprised if
And yeah,
it wasn't
definitely
that
consider
they were
voting
at
in
the
the
bottom.
next surveys so we can get even more accurate results. While you're here, and videos I've made, and be sure to subscribe to find your way back here in the future. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see you in a bit.
Today we've got a mod that only adds 1 block. That's it, just 1. But with this 1 lucky block, we can either get rich or die trying, literally. Let's see if we can beat the game. And hey, YouTube tells me it's impossible to subscribe to the channel using only your nose. So if you want to prove them wrong, bonk your nose on that white subscribe button below. It's free and it helps out a ton. Skip what's going on. So today we've got 1 lucky block. Luck. Oh, we didn't get lucky!
Goodbye.
Actually, we got extremely lucky. I got lucky at least. Oh. We got a ghostly horseman. Ow! Oh my god.
I got a dropper.
Oh.
No!
And you dropped.
Crazy.
Okay. Ah! Oh, this is just wrong. This is rude. This is malicious. This is malicious and mean. Oh, I got a lucky sword. This is
Where
bad.
am I? Nice.
No, we got a not lucky sword.
One of these has to create blocks, right?
Now we got wooden tools.
Nice.
XP's. Nice. Okay, I got a hero's potion.
Oh, look.
Hey!
Look.
Oh, the haze. Hero's potion, hero's potion. Oh, I lived.
Save it. Oh, here we go, boys.
Oh.
Here we go.
Hey, hang on. This is good. Dan, help me dig me out. Help me out.
Where are you?
Break the gold, break the gold, break the gold. Wait, help me up.
Hold on.
We'll get to you in a minute.
We're coming.
We're trying our hardest, believe
How
me.
much is left on that hero's potion?
Oh, like 4 minutes. I'm sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You seem
We're on a
pretty-
rescue mission for Skip.
You know something I could have done?
So much for that, Dan.
Okay.
We're good.
Oh, we're so good.
Blocks, there's so many blocks.
Skip.
Help me out.
Skip, get ready to catch.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's support. Very prideful today.
Thank you. I am proud of you. Get me out of here. Oh, Dan, we have a problem.
What's up? Oh my god!
So that happened.
I can't be dealing with it. Saw that, right?
Do we have more blocks? We're working on it. Dan got pumpkins. Okay. Dan, place the pumpkins around. Or maybe cause some
Hold on, I am a little
Oh.
hungry.
Back to block 1.
Back to square one.
We almost got him.
This is my favorite.
Surely one of these will produce a terrain. Oh, we're good.
Oh,
We're good.
That's good. That's good. Look off. We're not good. Okay. Wait a minute. We have a picture. Oh, nice. Maybe that'll help. Oh, this is really good. Our block is turning out, fellas.
Wait, Dan, if we can break the block right next to us, we can jump up.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really turning out. Dude, this is awesome. Uh-oh. Maybe I can, give water? Somehow.
Put water down to, give us a way to get back up.
Wait, that's genius. Hey.
Put it off the side of one of these, gold blocks. So we have,
It's okay, Skip. I'm sending the water off the side.
I got golden swords.
Golden sword. It's nice. Where's
Awesome.
the original block?
Found it.
Oh, there it is. Just be careful with what you wish for.
Guys, wait. Look at this. A luck potion.
Oh,
Drink
we could
this.
really use this.
Wait, it's a,
It's
it's not a drinkable. I feel so lucky.
Oh, brain.
I can't say Dan anymore. My luck is run down.
okay. Here's a lot of speed boost. Careful.
This is intense. Oh, cookies!
Cookies
Okay,
and
teleport
sugar.
it.
Hey!
That's good. That's good. We want that probably.
Oh.
That we don't. That we definitely don't. Okay. He's almost dead. He's dead.
He's gone.
Come on, Ghost Rider.
It's not a problem for us.
An iron block.
Iron. Nice. That's really good.
Just, wood. Whatever would be great.
Yeah, would be really good. Please.
Next.
Oh,
Oh, another
We can work with this.
chainmail. Don't mind if I do.
wait, so it's like a virus that spreads?
I think so.
Kind of.
Okay.
You're like,
Oh, wait. The ender pearl in it. And a sword. Okay.
guys, look what I got.
What'd you get?
Where's
I'll
that?
get it.
Okay, I did not think about the greater ramifications of that action.
That we just now have to deal with a wither for eternity?
No. We'll get something to help us. A diamond sword. I'm locked in a room with a lucky block.
What does this do?
No, Dan, no. Oh no, it's deteriorating.
You're in a giant lucky block now?
Oh, I was.
Oh, see you later.
Where's the weather at?
He's off the edge. Look, he's descending.
Wait, Dan, you gotta make it so we can get back up. There you go.
Oh, I see.
Dude, I've got 21 diamonds.
You got 21 diamonds and no crafting table. Sick.
No stakes or crafting tables.
Look, guys, we can get closer to defeating the game.
Oh yes, that's what we need. We're one-tenth of the way through the game now.
I
Nice.
think, yeah, 112. Is that Baby J-Moji?
Baby J-Moji, what?
Oh, birth?
Jay, what did you get up to while you were down there?
What is it? What? Live birth?
I don't know how to feel about this.
Oh, God!
Oh!
Oh my god, I got my own head. My brain is pulsing with ideas.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
We should put in some water. It's very inconvenient right now. Oh, the weather's dying!
I have a romantic rose.
I don't have a bucket, so we can't destroy the water yet. Wait, Eyes of Ender. Dude, we're gonna beat this game, totally.
Really?
Yeah!
Look at that.
Dan, you want a romantic rose?
I thought you'd never ask. Thank you. I guess I'm yours now.
I'm stuck down here. Wait, buckets.
Oh,
I had so many things. Oh, this is rough, man.
We have to start building something that's permanent. Something that we can actually, make a life out of. Whoa!
Ow, wow!
I'm gone. Oh, see y'all later.
Here we go. I have entered into training state. Never mind.
Okay.
So should we, waterlog it so that I guess it is waterlogged, but the TNT still breaks it for us? Oh, giant slime.
That's
Big fella.
My whoopsies.
He's massive.
That is a massive slime.
Oh, wait,
There's
Oh.
a structure.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Are we good?
oh, there's a bunch of
Doggies!
wolves.
I need some doggies!
No, the water supply got destroyed by it. Whoa.
Hey, right? Chest. Wait, let's open the chest, see what's in it. Diamond stuff.
It's a clock. Now we can see what type it is. It's
That's
new.
handy. Thanks, Dan.
I got like every enchanted book and a stick.
Oh, that was all relatively good stuff. How are you some remotely supposed to progress in there? It's here. I don't know. Well, Bob's
Hello.
here. Let's just let him. Oh. Where's the lucky block?
Here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Dan, let down your hair.
Let down your hair. Water. That's not water.
Oh.
I'll see you there.
Well, now what do we do?
Uh-oh.
Do we soft lock?
Wait, maybe I can, like, by chance respawn on it.
Oh, you're right. One second. Be right back.
Oh,
You got
I got it!
He did it. Nice.
Start breaking it. Start breaking it.
Oh God.
Come on!
Well, here we go.
I got it!
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, I'm in a big lucky block.
The big one.
I got a sword.
Yay.
Now,
Yeah, give us some blocks or something. Yes, a yellow block.
supply drop.
Hey guys, I didn't forget you as soon as I got to the top floor. Oh, oops.
Fun. He's up there. Wow. Wait, why don't we just die, Dan? Just respawn
Oh,
there.
yeah.
What do you think about that? Hooray, we made it. Okay, I'm gonna grab these blocks as they fall.
What's down there? I'm gonna drop down here and get this stuff. Sure.
No, Jay, run. I think we're fine. We're fine.
We're good. We're not fine, but we're here. I got 15 blocks of quartz. This is huge. Wait, I can
Build out.
a platform for us to live on. We can start a new civilization.
Aw, 20s.
See you later.
Need to be able to.
Bob, bye, Bob.
Jack-o'-lanterns. I can build out with jack-o'-lantern.
The carpet bombing.
Oh god. No one's ever said ha 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 the carpet walking before.
Oh, Dan. Look out.
Oh, look, we're fine.
Help me out, fellas. I didn't help you out. Sorry. Well.
Wishing well.
I'm wishing well.
Ah, Dan!
Sorry,
Oh
I
my
did
god, you're misbelieved, dude. What's wrong with you?
New block.
Slime for days, slime. This sheep ain't nothing to me, slime.
Nice bow. Wait, we can
Flowers.
decorate.
Finally.
Oh, how pretty.
This is what we needed.
Look, Jay, company.
Ah!
Wait, we can use the droppers as storage.
True,
You can't use the droppers as storage. Can I take the slime box? You can't, dude. They're so good.
Yeah, they're insta-break.
We're using these for all the sugar. Oh, I got it. Oh, God. Well, we're not getting a lot of those. No, Dan, why would you?
Sorry. Why would you?
You're a villain, bro.
It's like turning off the lights while I'm working. It's like, you see me here.
Stop, bro.
Jay, I want to say that we should take up a building class.
Well, look, I'm just
I just
making
realized
do
I
with
can
what
just
I've been given, bro.
Yeah, you're making do.
do this.
It's awesome.
I mean, yeah, there was the 16 block push limit, but
It teleports every now and
I mean,
then.
come on,
That
look at this.
terrifies me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, it broke a few times.
Bunch of fish, that's nice.
Blocks.
Blocks.
Ow.
That ain't
good
hitting
blocks.
no
Good
limit.
Blocks.
Oh, no.
What happened? I used the lucky potions and I didn't expect them to blow up.
Oh, so now we know that's what those can do sometimes.
Our home.
Just don't use them in our house.
Okay, deal.
That's what we know.
Damn!
Run. Fine.
This is awful.
That was actually a pretty cool shot. I want to be completely honest. That was pretty
Thank
sweet
you.
just seeing you run away from an explosion like that.
Speaking of that,
Watch out.
No.
I don't know what that noise was.
Oh, we're stuck.
Well, wanted potatoes are like.
Yeah, I'll take a potato. Why not?
We're having like a wonderful dinner right now.
I got wood!
Yeah.
Put it in a dropper.
I'm doing it. Should we like waterlog all of our chests so they don't explode? We can?
Maybe.
Ooh, smart.
This is where the
Oh,
Minecraft
this is
kicks
supposed to spread,
There was
right?
no Minecraft happening until now. Now it's kicking.
Holding him back now that he has the reins.
now that I'm unhinged. Skip tutorial unlocked. I got stuff stored away here.
Here's an even better idea.
Oh my gosh, Jake. Chest.
It's better.
Oh, there's lucky potions that say like -100.
Maybe we shouldn't use those. Oh yeah, just don't use those ones.
Nice.
We need a block right here.
Smoke screen.
Whoa! Look at all these goodies and cookies and fun things for me.
Look, I turned Dan into a horse.
Oh,
Oh God!
wait, I want to give our friends something to read. Here we go.
Well, our friend's still deaf.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're starting to be better set up now.
Oh yeah, now we're milking it.
We should start building civilization.
Oh
Oh, perfect. I know, I wanted an open floor plan.
Diamond!
Wait, I can make a diamond pickaxe and we can get those diamonds. Stop it. I'm scared.
Stop it.
Cease. Does anyone have more blocks? Like, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
We have less than. Hey. Aww. Here we go. And then I'll just go down here and I'll activate it. Or hey, we'll spawn. Perfect.
Oh my god.
We perfectly trapped him in here. Okay, he's gone. I wanted blocks, not cubes. Giant.
Careful.
Okay, that could be a problem down the road.
Tell me that.
Yeah, but he's chill. Well, he has no AI either, so he's just a new roommate. Maybe Trident.
Okay.
Fourth?
Uh-oh. No, not this one.
What does that do?
It makes it really hard to get to the block.
Oh, oops, I'm falling
Sorry.
horribly. No! I fell in! Oh! Shit.
There you go.
Oh, no! Another one. I got like 1,000,000 diamonds and stuff. Really? Bring them back at 16. Another one. I got like 1,000,000 diamonds and stuff. Really? Bring them back at 16. Diamonds and 20 emeralds, I'm on my way. I'm trying to get rid of this giant, so annoying. I know, he's like, his hitbox is like annoying us. He's like, his hitbox is like annoying us. It's like, no, I don't want to die with the diamonds. Okay, I need him to go. Okay, safe.
I found the block.
He only jumps off and falls. Alright, here's the resources that I salvaged. Oh my god, you got one. Oh my god, Jay. I could kiss you. Are you okay, Dan?
I blocked off the analyzer.
Sorry. Thanks, Skip. Really put out that
It's
problem.
spreading.
Stop, drop, and punch. Hero's leggings. This will help me resist, as well as this rabbit stew that I got. You're a villager. Slime blocks.
Nice.
Any slime blocks. Slime. Easy there. Easy there, buddy. Damn, Dan, you break it so fast, dude.
Wow. Wait,
You are
eyes.
going so fast.
Do we have much spice vendor?
We got a rainbow tower.
Ooh.
And a diamond block at the top. TNT.
Yeah, the bridge a little.
I don't like we have so much TNT because I want to use it, but I know it's not. Okay, I got the diamond blocks. That's another 9 diamonds.
Nice. Next. Oh my god! So many redstone based blocks. Look at all this stuff. We got pistons and trapdoors and lanterns.
I got the Mumbo Jumbo special. Dude, I got
Yeah, actually, we got some coppers.
Oh my god, man. I'm gonna throw away the things we don't need. Yeah, let's put the TNT away. This is our death pit. Nice, dude.
Oh my goodness, guys. Look at this. We've beaten the game.
Wow. Is that the end? Is it the end of the speed run? Oh god, no! Boop, boop, boop. Oh, so I didn't survive it, but I'm back. Hey Jay, I still got your leggings. We did waterlog it. There's no destruction, which is dope.
Good.
Oh, so many blocks just then. There's like a billion blocks.
Quickly put them away before you get killed.
Ow, ow. Skip, get my Skittles. Oh shoot. Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Whoa! Hey! Celebration never hurt anybody. This pig is there's a tower of pigs.
Nice. Good
And
meat.
a villager on top.
And the bone grinder.
They're just dying in a row. Grinder, they systematically fall down and perish. Don't see it. Oh.
I'm running.
That ain't good. Okay, get rid of him. Ooh, diamonds down here. Ow.
Oh my god. Oh,
Fight it with my sword.
I'm drowning. Help me.
I'm coming, Dan. What's happening? I can't. You're getting tarred and feathered. Just started vomiting feathers. What is this?
I'll keep breaking this block until something else.
Puking arrows everywhere. Dad, stop breaking stuff so much. Oh, there's another lucky block. Oh no, that's the same one. That's lightning. Okay, we can put that out real quick. There you go. Diamond.
Nice.
You need pickaxe. No, why did you break it still?
no,
We
what
needed the
happened?
diamonds.
No! I broke it. I didn't realize you guys were carrying precious material.
Well, we just it breaks the blocks around it, so we have to like. Wait, get this.
Oh my god, the vendor! I got like a good bring it back. Yeah, I got like 30.
Oh, let's go.
I have 5, which is a little bit less than 30. But I have blaze powder.
Nice.
Brother, I got a gavel.
Rubber, I got a gavel. Nice, dude.
Yeah, I found an iron helmet.
Your death wish came true. I didn't. That was a little catastrophic, but
The water broke! The water broke!
the baby's
Oh,
coming.
baby J-Moji!
No.
Oh man, now look at this! Not too shabby!
Actually, this is the best that our base has looked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
We need a little bit of a skylight.
I have a skylight for you.
Yeah?
Can't get to it though.
Like an assembled beacon?
I don't know.
Oh,
That's out with you.
That's not a beacon, but it'll give you a beacon.
Out with you!
Coin. Where else was throwing the coin?
I also was
I don't know. Dude.
Oh, careful, careful, careful.
Careful there. Easy there, buddy.
Hero's crossbow. Okay, I'm into lava now.
Hey, look, more blocks to build with.
Nice. And scrolls to TNT in inventory. Yeah.
There we go.
I think it's llama that we got going on.
Going
Camel,
crazy.
we are terrible.
It's going a little crazy.
Okay, I should not build. It's kind of funny, but like I want to preserve what we have.
Oh, it just stacked up a bunch of blockies.
Okay, don't break it again. We have to go get these blocks with the pickaxe.
Got it. Go get him, Skip.
Enough.
Ender chest. Wait, that's so good. We can put hella valuables in there. I'm gonna put the eyes of Ender and the Ender pearls in the Ender chest so they never go away.
What about the guys of Ender and it's just us?
It's just us hanging out.
That's
And us
awesome.
being bros. Oh, the bats. I'm gonna scroll down. Oh no! Oh, I'm glad I brought the Ender chest. God, kill that witch. Yeah, right. Kill that witch. There you go.
Kill
And
that
you're,
witch.
Now you're getting with your head.
We have to get some blocks.
See,
Okay.
man?
Okay.
So legend stuff I put this up.
Nice, Skip. This won't turn out bad at all.
Well, I was thinking if it ignites, maybe it'll like it'll fall first.
Lava's not gonna be good for
Sure,
us.
how about a
Okay.
splash potion of water breathing?
Yeah, that'll do it. How are we gonna get to the? Oh, we got it. Oh, nice.
Hey, we got another one of these towers.
Nice.
Wait, let me get the stuff on top.
TNT. Oh, Skip. This bridge was
How
not a
many
good
more
idea.
spoons must I spoon out of the
It's not a
ground?
good idea. Now, I'm gonna throw out
How much
the
more
TNT.
must I keep spooning?
Also, it's 6:19 and I need to leave.
Oh shoot!
Jay, look.
Very tough.
Come sit at my
That's
table.
really sexual.
Wait, let me have a seat.
Forget I
Set the
ever
table.
said that.
Later. And folks, I thought it was only going to take us an hour to beat Minecraft with Lucky Blocks, but with the way things are going, we're already well past that one. So this is part 1, and I'll see you folks in part 2, which we'll upload 2 days after this video comes out on our second channel, Skippy Teen. See you in 2 days, and have a good one, alright?
What are you doing? Oh, the spreading is going well.
Minecraft is known for its randomness. Almost everything you find in this game is by random chance, meaning some things are a lot more rare than others. So today, we'll be taking a look at some of the rarest occurrences that have ever happened in Minecraft's decade-long history and rank how likely each one is. This is Minecraft's rarest occurrences. As you can see, our buddy Steve here is in a wide-open plains biome during a harsh thunderstorm. Pretty dangerous. What are the odds of our buddy Steve being struck by lightning? Well, let's say he has a chunk render distance of 8, which means there are a total of 16,384 eligible blocks that can be struck by lightning around him. And every second, there's a 1 in 5,000 chance of lightning striking one of those blocks. If you multiply that by the total eligible blocks, it leaves us with a chance of 1 in 81 million of Steve being struck by lightning per second. 1 in 81 million. But Steve walks it off like an absolute champ. It only takes a few hearts. 81 million is still child's play though, because we're just getting started. When you load into a new world, usually the first thing you take note of is the biome you've spawned in. Biomes are randomly generated, and some are a lot more rare than others. ledge. If you spawned in a biome that looked like this, believe it or not, you just stumbled across the rarest biome in the game, which is called a modified jungle ledge. For a biome to generate like this, you would need a jungle biome to border a swamp biome, which would turn into a regular jungle ledge. But because of random chance, the biome can be given a modified feature when generating, which doesn't do much except make it more hilly. It's pretty much a jungle biome, but the trees are like cute mini oak trees. On average, this biome will cover just about 1/1,000,000th of the entire Minecraft world, which means about 1 in 370,000 biomes will be a modified jungle ledge, making it very hard to come across in the rarest biome in the game. Biomes and lightning aren't the only rare occurrence in Minecraft, though. The different features a mob spawns with can also push the extremes of rarity. YouTuber Rayworks posted a video in November 2020 of him catching one of the rarest zombies ever captured in all of survival Minecraft. This is that said zombie, and it may not look like that much, but with all of its accessories put together, like its armor, it can increase its rarity exponentially. For example, the chances of one having a pumpkin on its head is 2.5% on Halloween, and the iron shovel has a 5% chance. Taking all of these different attributes into account, the chances of this exact zombie spawning are 1 in 149 million. Those odds may seem a tiny bit impossible, but considering this mob was captured using a fast, innovative mob farm, a find like this is totally plausible with the right amount of time. The next rare occurrence involves world generation, but it isn't necessarily a biome. This right here is a strange structure found in an old 2010 alpha version of the game. It's a giant bulge sticking out of the world's surface. It looks like everything just got pushed upwards 100 blocks. That's not all either. Underneath is a giant water pool that goes all the way down to bedrock, and if you swim too deep, you'll fall through and into the void. According to Minecraft Professional and Venom, something like this happened due to special circumstances in the world's generation while the terrain was being processed, and the chances of something like this happening are 1 in 1,000,000,000,000. Something like this probably wouldn't happen in today's version of Minecraft though, so because this is exclusive to alpha, it makes it even more antique. There's nothing more luck involved in Minecraft than speedrunning, trying to beat the game as fast as possible. One of the most time-consuming things to accomplish during a speedrun is acquiring enough Eyes of Ender to fill the end portal, which is usually done by going to the Nether, risking your life trying to get blaze rods, trying to get ender pearls from piglins, and then finally go to the end portal, or you can bank on a 1 in 1,000,000,000,000 chance at finding the end portal already completely filled. The reason for this number is because each end portal frame has a 10% chance of containing an Eye of Ender, so that would mean you'd have to beat the odds of 10 to the 12th power, or 1 in 1,000,000,000,000 for a seed to have this, which a few actually do. Of course, you could have won the Mega Millions 3,000 times, but hey, at least you got the world record for random seed glitchless. This next rare occurrence involves natural spawning snow golems. That may strike you as odd, because the only way snow golems can spawn is if you place 2 snow blocks together and then a carved pumpkin on top. Well, surprisingly, this wasn't the only way snow golems could spawn. Back in older versions of Minecraft, like 1.8, carved pumpkins used to spawn naturally in the world instead of regular pumpkins. If, by random chance, a carved pumpkin happened to generate a line next to 2 snow blocks, it would spawn in a snow golem without any player interference. There's also the very small chance of an enderman picking up a carved pumpkin and bringing it over to some snow to give birth. Although carved pumpkins don't spawn naturally anymore, the chances of something like this happening in the versions possible are approximately 5. The bulge in the alpha version of the game broken seeds with repeating structures. Several seeds were found that repeat world features in a straight line across an axis. Some go all the way from spawn to the world borders. The cause of this repeating feature is simply due to a bug in the game's code when generating worlds. Personally, I'm a big fan of this bug, because if I come across one of these infinite mine shafts, you already know I'm going to be walking out with a stack of non-apples. People like Matthew Boland have found several broken seeds with this repeating feature, but if you were to try to find one by loading up a random seed yourself, your odds are 1 in 140 trillion of doing so. Alright, so these occurrences really start to get insane and unlikely. Usually when you're mining in a mountain mine, you find a solid emerald, enough one, maybe you'll find another nearby. Hey, that's pretty lucky. Now, if you somehow manage to find a vein of 14 emeralds, struck by lightning 1.3 trillion times in real life. This huge cluster of emeralds was found by user Dutchin, who says something like this has a 1 in 20 quadrillion chance of generating in a world. 14 is such an absurd and rare amount since most veins are usually only 1 ore in size. And on top of that, the max amount of emeralds that can generate in one chunk is 11, but as you can see here, it splits between 2 different chunks to make a combined total of 14. Also, for comparison, an average vein of diamonds is 5 ore in size, so that means that this is a vein of 70 diamonds. Alright, so this next one is possibly the craziest occurrence on this list in terms of world generation. This bad boy is a quintuple pig spawner cluster in a mine shaft. 5 pig spawners, that's right, surrounding a chest where a cave spider spawner would usually be. Now I bet you're wondering, how the fuck did this happen? Well, what happened was a cave spider spawner generated in the mine shaft first. When the world was generating some last details, a chest ended up spawning on the same block as the spawner, which, due to reasons of the game's code, presets the cave spider spawner's data to that of a pig and causes 5 more spawners to be placed around it. Taking in all the right circumstances like the biomes, cobweb formation, where the chest and spawner are actually placed, the odds of one of these generating in your world is 1 in 36 quadrillion, easily making it one of the rarest world generation occurrences. Too bad you can't actually open the chest, but if you remove the gross blocks from underneath the spawners and replace it with a fresh layer of sod, the pigs will actually spawn and you can set up a quick fast food chain. Yeah, so these occurrences I've talked about so far are very, very rare, but before we get to the final rarest occurrence in Minecraft, here's some things that you actually have a decent
Can I make
chance of
pizza?
finding in your Minecraft world. A pink sheep has a 1 in 642 chance of spawning, and you might even find a baby version which has a 1 in 12,000 chance. There's a 1 in 1,000 chance of a brown mushroom being born after breeding 2 red ones. That isn't the most probable odds, but if you get yourself a fully operational PETA-approved farm, you can pull it off easily. Killer bunnies that actually can damage you have a 1 in 2,500 chance of spawning. Thankfully, this abomination could only spawn in a few snapshots of the game. For every 50 pandas that spawn, one of them will usually have some rare genes that'll make it a brown panda. You want to know what else is 1 in 50? The amount of people who are subscribed to me. So I'd be pretty cool if you could subscribe. Alright, now it is time for the #1 rarest Minecraft occurrence. So we've talked about rare mob spawning like the zombie from earlier, and that its odds of 1 in 149 billion was lucky. But this next mob puts that one to literal shame. The most terrifying mob in the game, nicknamed 4.3797E-75, is theoretically the rarest mob that can spawn in all of Minecraft. It's a baby
Rotten
zombie
tomatoes.
villager chicken jockey with full diamond armor and has the best enchants. You might be asking, well, why does this mob's name sound like something Elon Musk would name his kid? Well, that is the chance of this mob spawning in scientific notation with all of its attributes. 1 in 163 quadrillion. A video posted in March 2020 by Creeper Lol supposedly showcases them finding this mob in their survival world. It starts with them doing their usual business, murdering an innocent chicken, until they turn the corner and there it is. From the outside, this seems to be a very close version of the mob we're looking for, but is this clip fake? Well, the only thing leading me to believe it is the fact that it's daytime. Creeper Lol had to have been in the area at nighttime for it to spawn, then the zombie's helmet protected it from the daylight. The only thing is, we can't see any other signs of night mobs like bird drops and spiders, which makes me a bit skeptical. Other than that, in the incredibly unlikely odds, we can't say this clip is fake since there isn't any outstanding proof. And that's that. So wait, there's actually one more. The last rare occurrence is your chance of getting a girlfriend.
Rude. Mm, I think for the last two rows, I'll go for carrots. Because you can turn those into golden carrots, which apparently is like the best food in the game. Oh yeah, I forgot about the flags. Oh, looking good. It's about to seep in. Perhaps I should have waited until the grass fully spread out before I separated them into wood like this. Not too late. I can expand. Fuck you. Come on, why does this keep happening? I don't think the chicken coop needs any grass. It's the smallest coop. Fine. I will graze the livestock with some benevolence. How atmospheric. I guess I'll do some fishing. Waiting games upon waiting games, baby. I don't really know what else I can do while waiting for fucking grass to grow. I could cheat and increase the game tick, but I will not. I have too much pride. Dang, Stone Axe is so slow.
Somewhat difficult to define. Broadly speaking, it refers to transitional spaces existing in the middle of two or more places. They are transient in nature, fleeting part of our journey, seeing and immediately forgotten. In these liminal spaces, we hover at a threshold, a state of ambiguity, Not quite in, not quite out, but somewhere in the middle. There's an unsettling familiarity. It's almost real, but we cannot escape a sense that something is ever so slightly off somehow. In this maze, we find ourselves in one of these places. There's no clear direction, just a faceless character wandering the halls. The rules of reality in this maze are different. Floating objects flip the world upside down. Strange images are plastered over the brick walls. The occasional rat does little to soothe this feeling of isolation and emptiness. At the end of the maze lies a solitary, floating, yellow smiley face. But this is a deceptive shape. There is no reward for completing the maze, no escape from its halls. Instead, the maze collapses and is instantly replaced with yet another maze. It's a cycle that will continue forever. This scene is a screensaver, a relic of past computer technology. Screensavers were a necessity to prevent screen burn-in on old cathode ray tube monitors. If an individual image was held idle on one of these screens for too long, a permanent etching would be created, which would persist even as other images were shown. To combat this effect, the screensaver was developed, named because they would literally save the screen from burn-in. By showing new images, the monitor would be protected from damage. Screensavers, at their very core, are liminal devices. In this state, the computer is neither completely active nor completely off, residing in a suspended, idle mode. Screensavers fill this void. Their purpose is to occupy screen space, to be there but not noticed, to be present but unobtrusive. And it's this very purpose that makes them uniquely positioned to be a case study in liminality, a lens through which to explore the very concept. So join me as we take a journey back in time to discover how the screensaver became an underrated example of liminality. The early history of screensavers is somewhat murky. As far back as 1977, some Atari games would cycle the colors when left idle for long enough. However, the term screensaver first emerged in 1983 with a program named Screensave.com. It was written by John Socha for MS-DOS, a command-line operating system developed by Microsoft. This screensaver would simply dim the screen after a few minutes of inactivity. The Apple Lisa computer had a similar feature. Logically, this should have been as far as screensavers ever went. Preventing burn-in doesn't require anything beyond turning the monitor dark. Yet there must have been some sort of allure to the idea of visuals being shown during idle time. In May of 1986, Bob Siegel created Eye, one of the very first animated screensavers. Instead of a blank screen, Eye presents a disembodied eye looking around. If you disturb it by pressing a key, the pupil dilates and makes an angry noise. While Eye is fairly simple, it introduced visual elements that would set the tone for future screensavers. Suspended in an endless void, the unblinking eye created an unsettling, almost hypnotic effect. This surrealism was partly necessitated by the era's limited graphical technology. In fact, many early MS-DOS screensavers were initially conceived of as tech demos, blurring the line between functionality and digital art. They served as an excuse to make something cool on the computer, something that didn't have rigid requirements. The technological limits led naturally to a distinct theme found in many early screensavers: abstract geometric patterns. Screensavers like 1987's Tunnel by Dan Butterfield is a simple example, with its concentric color gradients. Dazzle by Michael Peter Engelbright takes a busier approach, displaying shifting kaleidoscopic patterns. The following year, Plasma was released, generating a hue-cycling tie-dye image. It even saved the picture for future use. A highlight from the MS-DOS era is Terry Dorf's 1988 creation Lumen. It produces the illusion of three-dimensional boxes and shapes, growing and morphing in real time. There is some similarity to 20th century abstract art. The images displayed are reminiscent of Joseph Albers, Piet Mondrian, or Frank Stella. However, it's extended into the temporal realm. These boxes evolve over time. The art isn't static. But it also never really goes anywhere either. It's an infinite progression towards nothing. Tragically, Dorf's murder in 1991 makes Lumen one of his few remaining creations, a highlight of the 1980s geometric screensavers. Not every screensaver was full of color, however. Kevin Stokes' Intermission took a simpler approach. The tiny white points create the illusion that we're on a spaceship, zipping past stars at high speed. It is clearly inspired by Star Wars Hyperspace or Star Trek's Warp Speed. The effect is simple, but instantly memorable as a solid screensaver. So solid, in fact, that it wasn't long until it was copied by someone much bigger. On October 8, 1990, Microsoft introduced its first official screensavers, designed for the recently released Windows 3.0. They were found within the standalone Microsoft Entertainment Pack for a price of $39.95. Included was Stars, a nearly identical replica of Intermission. It's an early example of a trend that would continue for years, screensaver developers taking influence from others, sometimes to the extent of blatant copying. As such, none of Microsoft Entertainment Pack's screensavers were particularly innovative. It's worth mentioning that this was the first time that the game Microsoft Minesweeper was publicly released, though even this took heavy inspiration from a 7-year-old game named Mined Out. While geometrically inspired images may be beautiful, they don't quite seem liminal. They're too abstract, there's not a physical connection for us to latch onto. And it is here that we discover a truth of liminality. For an image to be liminal, there must be some sort of connection to a real-life visual concept, something that grounds us a bit. If not, our brains are content to interpret them as abstract ideas, and don't get that sense of unease. There are a few screensavers from the 80s that do approach this territory. The technological constraints of the time inadvertently sculpted an aesthetic that would endure, stark colors against dark textureless backgrounds. We saw this in Eye. Another is 1989's Bug Fry. Here, a bug zapper hangs ominously, luring flies to their eventual annihilation. These visuals feel almost dreamlike, real but not quite, existing in a space between realistic and abstract. This aesthetic would be more deeply explored later that year with the arrival of After Dark. It would truly revolutionize the screensaver paradigm. The program was built upon a simpler foundation called Magic Screensaver. It was initially released for the Macintosh. After much effort, I was unfortunately unable to find a completely working disk image of it. Thankfully, there was an edition released for Windows in 1990, and this version is much more well known.
If I did, I wouldn't have needed to bother
you could install no
this
fewer than
root in
35
the
different
first place as
screensavers
well.
on your Windows 3.1 computer. It is here that the empty, pitch-black aesthetic is explored more deeply. Fish swim in a simulated aquarium. Eyes open and close in the darkness, watching us from afar. Cats explore the screen, chasing butterflies. Otherworldly landscapes are generated again and again. But of all these, the strangest and most famous is the flying toasters. In the darkness, we watch toasters with wings on a journey to who knows where. Pieces of toast float alongside them. There is even an option to decide how well done the toast is. The end result is an especially memorable screensaver. I guarantee that some of you watching right now are feeling a wave of nostalgia, because you haven't seen the flying toasters in years. Other screensavers from After Dark continue the geometric tradition. Some of these are downright mesmerizing. Spiral Gyro generates sequences of multicolored lines which develop the illusion of motion. Rose is another highlight. Pointillist rainbow spirals spin and morph, producing beautiful curved shapes. Stained Glass takes a different approach, containing more complex lines, shapes, and duplications. The result is a very wide variety of possibilities. Other, simpler examples include a basic fluid simulation called Ripple, and waves with shifting hues in Satori. After Dark is also notable because it included several screensavers that affected the desktop. As far as I can tell, the 1989 Macintosh version was the first to ever do this, and it was extended in the Windows version. Down the Drain causes your entire desktop to swirl down the sink, programs, icons, and all. Can of Worms causes the screen to be slowly eaten by tiny bugs until little remains. String Theory slowly covers the screen with beams of light.
Huh.
It's probably
Well, it's
hard to
honestly not that
underestimate
bad.
the influence of After Dark on the aesthetics of future screensavers.
It's supposed to be a joke
It had a
on
level of
the
passion,
common
a
trope
level of
that
oddness that
a
hadn't
bad
been
cat
seen
is just
before.
finding
While it did push the
boobs.
geometric side
At least
forward,
it's a pair
more
rather
notable
than just
because
a
it
single
committed to
one.
the idea that
In
screensavers could
Minecraft,
be anything.
oh wow, not
They could be bold, confusing, funny, and maybe just a little bit surreal. Other screensaver packs were released in the shadow of After Dark. Microsoft created 2 additional entertainment packs in 1991. Highlights include Spiderweb, in which a web is constructed on screen, Chomp, in which the desktop is slowly eaten away, Oriental Rug, which created pointless geometric patterns, and Divide and Conquer, in which the desktop is split into smaller and smaller tiles. However, Microsoft was about to make a much more impactful change, one that would usher in a new era. To this point, all of the screensavers we've looked at were standalone products, either paid, shareware, or free.
Here we
With
go.
the release of Windows 3.1 in April of 1992, screensavers were included natively within the Windows operating system. These screensavers were relatively conservative, even compared to the entertainment. Mystify had colored polygons bouncing around the screen, and Starfield Simulation was a version of Stars. The most notable addition was Flying Windows, which was very similar to Starfield Simulation, but with multicolored Windows logos instead. The built-in screensavers were, frankly, pretty simple and somewhat dull. But all this would change with the release of Windows 95.
My
The
final
volume and variety
message.
of included Windows screensavers increased dramatically. And for the first time, Windows had a signature, the 3D maze. This screensaver elevated the genre to new heights in terms of graphical complexity. The improved sense of physical space enabled 3D maze to be another truly liminal screensaver. And it shows us another core concept of liminality, a sense of loneliness. It feels as if it's a precursor to the backrooms, infinite hallways, twists and turns, and a dreadful knowledge that, no matter what, we aren't finding a way out of this place. When I watch the maze, I get a profound feeling of isolation, a fear that no one else exists in the world, except for me. Another innovation of Windows 95 was the integration of real-life photographs into screensaver design. This had been done at least once before. In 1991, a programmer named D. Stuart Riffle made a DOS screensaver called BushSave.exe. Launching it shows none other than the floating head of George H.W. Bush suspended in a black void.
Read my lips.
Microsoft took a less political approach, opting instead for thematic screensavers. But these were weird in their own way. Baseball shows a diamond sitting on the black void. Photographs of players doing various actions fade in and out of the empty space. There's also snowboarding, showing snowboarders doing various tricks. This one is notable for its particularly strange sound design. The innocuous images are accompanied by some awfully ominous noises. What does this have to do with snowboarding? The Golden Era was another unusual creation. It has a man reading a newspaper while tapping his foot. In the background, we see a sequence of disconnected images and sounds, creating a disjointed, dreamlike narrative. The images feel a bit surreal. As it turns out, surrealism is a common tendency of photograph-based screensavers. Another example is the horses screensaver. It's simply a slideshow of pictures of horses. There's nothing exactly wrong with these pictures, but it's hard to escape the sense that they aren't quite right either. They're ever so slightly off-kilter, a tiny bit unreal. This effect is even more pronounced in a Windows 98 Plus screensaver called World Traveler. Some of these images feel downright uncomfortable. It's almost difficult to believe that these are photographs of actual places. And it is here that once again we feel that sense of loneliness, as if we're the only one here, existing in a world devoid of sentient life. Once again, this sense of surrealism can be partially explained by the technology. The resolution and number of available colors on monitors was limited, thus forcing any real-life image to be merely a crude approximation. The Horror Channel screensaver exemplified this, a grainy castle on a mountaintop, a dark dungeon with cobwebs, a mysterious tower in the distance with a darkened figure atop it. The photograph screensavers were a new aesthetic category, and they represented one of the major contributions of Microsoft in the late 90s. But there were also screensavers that were less creepy. Electronic components float over a circuit board on inside your computer, with various beeping sound effects. Dangerous creatures display sharps and rays swimming around the screen. Space has an asteroid and various pieces of equipment floating among the stars. Jungle displays various plants and animals. Bugs and nature both let us watch insects walk across the forest floor. Fashion lets us see some, fashion. Despite the trend towards more realistic depictions, there are other screensavers of the time which maintain the geometric concepts. One such example is 3D pipes, where we watch meaningless plumbing generate in real time. These pipes have random shapes, different colors, and even different joint types. If you want a flexible, bendy type of pipe, that's available too. There's even the option to set your own pipe texture. Eventually, the screen resets and starts over. We also have 3D flower box and 3D flying objects, both of which have various types of 3D geometry morph as they bounce around the screen. These are much smoother and more detailed than previous 3D screensavers. But none of these is quite as interesting as organic art, included in Windows 98 Plus. Organic art isn't so much a screensaver as it is a screensaver engine, boasting an impressive array of 31 different scenes. Each features dynamic 3D geometry against a pre-rendered background, showcasing a remarkable diversity of possibilities. It's actually possible to install Organic Art Deluxe if users want to make their own screensavers. There are options to change the background, the shape, the way it moves, the way it morphs, the number of objects, the texture, and even the shading. There are truly some bizarre possibilities, especially in the backdrop imagery. We find stark alien landscapes beckoning to be explored. There are strange tubes going into something resembling a wormhole. Several are MC Escher-inspired staircases, and there's a 3D scene of cubes that would fit right in with Mark 101. As expected, some of these images are more organic in nature. We see fleshy tubes, perhaps an image of intestines. But it gets even weirder. There's a rendering of an amorphous bone material and a 3D rendered skeleton, one that appears to be the view from inside of a spinal column. And then there's, well, whatever this is, perhaps a skull of some kind. And as we explore these background images, we discover that there's a rather odd obsession with heads, rows of them in a line, missing their eyes, an army of people staring at us in some green space, a vast number of them lying down in a circle, heads with some sort of tail attached to them. Why are there so many images of heads with tails? Why are they surrounding a pink sphere? What are these things? And finally, there's an image called Zoo.gif. We see 4 additional heads, but this time they're real. Is this a portrait of the creator, William Latham? It's hard to know for sure. In terms of pure oddity, organic art represents one of the heights of screensaver creativity. It's one of the many standouts of the 1990s, which was a golden age for the medium. So many interesting ideas were developed by so many people, and screensavers were brought to a wider audience than ever before. What innovations would be seen in the 2000s? How far could the screensaver medium be pushed? In the late 90s, it developed nearly limitless. But unfortunately, Y2K marked the beginning of the screensaver's gradual descent into obscurity. LCD screens were not affected by burn-in, and they were becoming increasingly popular. By the end of 2003, more LCD screens were sold than CRTs. As a result, the screensaver became more and more of an afterthought in Windows operating systems. Including Microsoft Plus, Windows 95 had 27 official screensavers. Windows 98 dropped to 21. Windows 2000 and XP had 11 screensavers each. Windows Vista had 8. Windows 7 had 7. And as of 2023, there are just 6 that remain, buried deep within the settings and turned off by default. Long gone are the days of spectacularly surreal and odd screensavers. There is no more 3D maze, no more flying toasters, no more organic art. For the most part, screensavers are a relic of the past, memories of a time gone by. But perhaps that's fitting. The very history of the screensaver is a liminal story, a transitional period of technology, something necessary in the moment but not afterwards, something we notice but never really stop to think about. And without us realizing it, they slowly disappeared. One day we looked up, and they were gone. While screensavers were initially designed just to fill up pixels on a screen, they grew to be far more than that. They developed into their own unique art form, with evolving tastes, concepts, and ideas. In fact, near the end of the 90s, many screensavers weren't even good at their initial jobs. They had static images that would remain on the screen. Some used relatively complex 3D rendering, causing the hardware to be performing computations when it would have been better off doing nothing. And through it all, there was a persistent aesthetic trend of liminality. Screensavers lingered in a region between off and on, between old technology and new technology, between interesting and boring. Flying toasters, endless mazes, pictures of other worlds. Visuals suspended in a static realm, moving but not progressing, evolving towards nothing, morphing within their own temporary world. We know that moving the mouse would cause them to disappear and we would exit the transitional space, but maybe we'll linger here just a bit longer and enjoy this deeply liminal art form, the likes of which may never be seen again. so much for joining me for this video. I know it's a bit different from what I've done in the past, but I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you had fun watching it. It's a topic I've always had a bit of an interest in, and I decided to just make a video about it. If you want to discuss this more, I'd love to have you on the RGN Discord server. The link is in the description. This has been Retro Gaming Now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.
Come on.
I've stumbled across a bizarre channel on YouTube called Mark101. It appears to be an alpha Minecraft channel, but, well, you'll see soon enough. The first video is entitled Unused Zero. It shows gameplay footage from the early days of Minecraft, specifically Alpha 1.0.7. The video follows the initial stages of a Minecraft world.
Ignore
You watch as a
them,
character with
they
a dark
won't
skin punches sheep and
bother
picks
me.
They proceed to construct a crafting table, using it to craft a set of wooden tools.
I
They
hope.
chop some wood before climbing up the side of the mountain where they begin to construct a house. About 5.5 minutes into the video, they suddenly stop, pausing and unpausing the game several times. They stare out into the distance for a few seconds. Suddenly, a strange loud noise is heard as the render distance drops. The player goes haywire for a few moments before leaving the game. When we examine the description, we find that the player recording is apparently as confused as we are. I'm getting freaked out. I'll show you more footage. What is that sound? I don't know, maybe a new cave sound. I think if I reinstall Minecraft, it will stop acting weird. Then there's a link to another video entitled Instructed. This is a screen recording. We see someone named Marcus logging onto their computer. They open up a web page
Isn't
with the
that the name
title,
of Notch?
"Please report any anomalies you see in Minecraft here." The site gives more detail about these anomalies. They are not usually Minecraft-esque at all, and the players are instructed not to approach them under any circumstances. The website also shows an example of an anomaly, but the image is very dark. We can adjust the colors to brighten the picture, but we still just can't quite see it. Below, there's the option to submit a video with a description of an anomaly.
Oh my, that guy
The
has
user
an
Marcus opens
enchanted
up a
one.
video called My Anomaly
I
MP4
don't know what
and
it
begins
could
to play it.
possibly
It
be.
begins with a title. Use my account again, followed by, I found this recording randomly appear while I was making a new video. Marcus messes with the window size several times, making this video difficult for us to watch. Despite this, we can just make out footage of somebody breaking doors in a Minecraft cave. Marcus skips ahead to
I'm
a
at a
segment with the player
disadvantage
running
in
up
the
a
water.
staircase out of the mine. They turn around and Marcus pauses the video. He uses the mouse pointer to point at something down at the bottom of the stairs. This must be another anomaly, but what is it? If we look closely, we can just barely make out something hidden deep within the image. Was it just a trick of the light? A compression artifact? What exactly have we stumbled across here?
on, don't be like that. Ah. It's more platinum. Whoa. Woohoo. Quick charge, unbreaking, and piercing. Whoa. Now those are spicy.
The date on the computer screen tells us that Instructed takes place a month after Unused 0. To see how we got to this point, we're going to take a step back in time and examine the other videos on the channel. There's a video called moonglitch.avi. This takes place in the same world. Marcus has made some progress since the first video, with a complete starter house as well as stone tools. He spends most of the video cooking pork chops and storing them in a chest. Near the end, Marcus exits the house into the night. He attempts to change his render distance, but it appears to be stuck at tiny. Then, another strange noise. Marcus looks up at the moon to see that it has a bizarre red dot on it. The video ends after that. Another glitch, one that again defies explanation. It is here that the uploaded videos appear to be slightly out of order. To make things easier, I'll present things in what I believe to be chronological order, not necessarily the order of upload. The following video is entitled I'm Back. The state of the chests tell us that this video takes place soon after Moonglitch. Marcus takes some materials and crafts an iron sword, presumably to deal with the zombies that we hear in the background. Marcus exits the house and kills one of them. After changing the difficulty to peaceful, he descends the stairs out of his house. We once again hear a strange noise. It amplifies in volume before a couple-second-long gap in the footage. The video ends with the noise fading out as Marcus enters the mines. Apparently, Marcus's mining trip was successful. The next video was called Diamond Overload. It opens with the One True Media logo, which was a service that helped users create and edit videos. Marcus has used it to create this video, and he will continue to use it in future videos with titles. The description tells us that Marcus found a cave with tons of diamonds. To celebrate, Marcus has uploaded a video dancing in diamond gear to a song called Tarantula by Pendulum. And that's just about it. A dose of 2010 Minecraft fun. But this fun wouldn't last long. The next video is called Observations. Once again, we find ourselves in Marcus's world during the nighttime. Marcus stares out the window and briefly gets a glimpse of the moon. It is still dark. Apparently unsure of what to do, he checks periodically, seemingly afraid of looking at it. Finally, daytime approaches and the moon sets on the horizon. Yet there's another strange noise, causing Marcus to exit the world. It appears as though these oddities have begun to affect Marcus. The description contains a rambling blend of questions and answers. Where did it go? I don't know. Have any ideas where it went? No. Do you know what it even is? It's very angry. We already know that, because that's all I know about this thing. Why do you think it's on the moon? Because moon cycle goes into void after sun. What do you mean by that? You'll see. It's strange. Is Marcus talking to himself, or is there somebody else out there? The next video is called Unused 1. We know that it must take place sometime after July 23rd, 2010, as the version is Alpha 1.0.11. This was the 6th Secret Friday update, which included a wide range of new things, from slimes to bricks to books. The description confirms this by telling us that this file was last modified on August 2nd, a little over a week after the update. The video opens with the rudimentary title, "Guys, I'm really scared, something weird happened." Let's watch what happens next.
It's just a lot of tedium.
This video is easily the most bizarre one we've seen so far. Marcus is understandably spooked. In the description, he said that he believes it's just a hacker trying to scare him. Once again, the moon is dark, a trend that we've seen in the past several videos. Marcus walks around and stumbles across a large structure near his house. There are a couple of different sounds. There's a high-pitched sound as Marcus approaches the structure, and a lower-pitched, glitchy, rumbling sound as the screen goes dark. We can use a special tool called a spectrogram to analyze these sounds. A spectrogram gives us a visual representation of the frequencies in sound. Higher up on the chart represents higher frequencies, or a higher pitch. Lower on the chart corresponds to lower frequencies or pitches. The brightness represents the volume of the associated frequency. Moving left and right on the chart moves forward and backwards in time. The first high-pitched noise has a distinct look on the spectrogram. There appear to be bursts of short and long lengths. As it turns out, this is Morse code. By converting pulses to dots and dashes, we can read out a message, denied. We can look at the rest of the glitchy sounds in the spectrogram, but nothing jumps out to us. Regardless, this is a clear escalation in the level of strangeness that Marcus has been experiencing in his world. It's time for investigation. Marcus joins the world and looks into one of his chests. That's an interesting design. It appears to be in the shape of a star. Why would Marcus store his diamonds and stone slabs in such an atypical configuration? Marcus peeks out of the house to discover that the moon is still weird. He returns to cooking pork chops. About 3 minutes into the video, the pause screen pops up several times, perhaps a glitch of some kind. Marcus once again descends into the mines, and we see that he has added a wall on the right side. At the bottom, Marcus notices a corridor in the wall and walks in to examine it. He stumbles across a bizarre reddish obsidian block at the bedrock layer. Marcus pulls out his diamond pickaxe and mines it. It breaks, and he falls through. The video's second world continues immediately afterward and shows Marcus falling into the void. He rapidly takes damage and dies. When Marcus returns to the menu, we notice that the Minecraft logo is different. Upon joining the world, we see that the textures are totally messed up, red and glitchy. Bizarre sounds are. Marcus looks at the moon, which now has tentacles flowing from it. A loud sound plays, and the video ends. At this point, Marcus's world has been totally turned upside down. His investigation continues in a video entitled The Investigation Part 1. In the beginning, Marcus explains what he believes is happening in a few slides. Something is in the abyss. It took the moon. I can't do anything. I can only prioritize the Minecraft window. It's hard for me to even type because it keeps sending me to Minecraft. Marcus then posts a dark image, claiming that he doesn't remember making it. Adjusting the colors shows what may be a figure in the distance. Again, it's just not conclusive. However, there's a second image which Marcus claims is a mother giving birth to her children. It's a shot down a corridor in a cave. After color adjustments, we can see that there's clearly something there, but we can't quite tell what. It's a figure of some type, but it doesn't quite appear to have the shape of a player. The head is vaguely triangular, and it has a skinny body. Finally, Marcus shows us some footage from his investigation. It's a sequence of 5 different scenes. The first is a brief excerpt from the previous video, the box outside of the house. The second is a daytime shot that shows the darkened sun. The third shows Marcus crafting his diamond tools. The fourth is longer and has Marcus building walls on his staircase to the mines. As night approaches, Marcus increases his speed before descending once more. The central room contains a large blob of that same reddish obsidian material that Marcus mined when he fell into the void. The final sequence of footage shows Marcus ascending the stairs before returning back down and failing to place a slab for several seconds. When he gets to the bottom, he notices that the room is different. Tunnels have appeared in the walls. These tunnels look familiar. The second picture of an anomaly was taken here. Marcus's investigation continues in part 2. He says that those things have been creeping in from the underworld. As Marcus walks around, the frame rate begins to drop. Then suddenly, Marcus gets his first clear footage of an anomaly. Out in the distance, we see a darkened figure with spindly limbs. Marcus understandably freaks out. If we look at this figure in more detail, we can see that it could plausibly be the shadowy figure in the mines from earlier. The basic shape is the same. Marcus is not wrong when he says that that's not from Minecraft. Then Marcus tells us another interesting development. Apparently, some guy with a star for his name joins his game sometimes. Marcus, follow, look, Marcus. Earlier on in the video, Marcus showed us a rudimentary Microsoft Paint drawing describing what he thinks is occurring. Let's examine this for a minute. The top green line appears to represent the Minecraft world. The boxes probably show the bedrock structure that has appeared. Below it, we see a depiction of the moon. Marcus draws a connection between the thing and the moon. Then there's a picture of a star saying Marcus. This is probably the star player who's been joining his world sometimes. Beside him are several blue clouds with the text,
cool for
not
the lighting for the farm, since
It appears as though Marcus believes
I made
this
too
game
many
has been
fences, I may
infiltrated
as well
by
try to
beings
use
from
them.
another place.
And also
There
I
have
need
been
my
a
fishing
multitude of
rod.
anomalous events, from the moon to the star player to the reddish textures to the black void beings. A mysterious player has been
There it is,
communicating with
goddammit, why did I...
But despite all of this, Marcus's explanation seems a little over the top. The idea of entities from outside of the game somehow entering it is absurd, right? For some reason, there is no investigation part 3, but there is a part 4. As soon as we start watching it, we recognize it as the My Anomaly video from Instructed. Now we have it in higher quality, and we can analyze it in more detail. It opens with the same declaration that this was a recording found on his device. We see that the star player has said Marcus multiple times in chat, and since we know that Marcus didn't record the video, it's plausible to guess that we are currently seeing the actions of Star. The video takes place in the bottom mine room with the red obsidian. There are several half-door slabs surrounding the area, and we watch Star break
Just
them.
in case, I don't really
They
know what
dump
I'm
their
trying to
items
do
in
here. I
order
just
to
want
fill
some
their
torch
inventory with iron
lamps,
doors.
similar to
Then
what
they
the
place these
villages
doors on the
have.
tunnels that appeared earlier. Finally, they head towards a lonely door with a pressure plate on the opposite side. It's there that the footage cuts. Immediately after discovering the video on his computer, Marcus logs onto his game and checks his world. Sure enough, his inventory has doors. It does appear as though Star used his account. Marcus descends into the mine to see the changes for himself and recover things from his inventory. There's a brief moment where the footage cuts. When it comes back, we see the particles of a dead mob as well as Marcus swinging his sword. It turns out that if we go to the frame just before the blackout, we can make out some strange spindly tentacles on the right side. After fighting a few slimes, Marcus approaches the singular door with the pressure plate. He contemplates for several moments and then enters. There are several more doors behind it, and the screen quickly darkens. Suddenly, a loud noise and a dramatic frame rate drop. Marcus flees the corridor. And then we see Marcus climb the
Jesus
stairs.
Christ, the
And as
creepypasta
we remember
uses
from
a lot of
Instructed,
loud
we know that
noises
Marcus
to
is
jump
about
scare
to
you.
experience another
That's so
anomaly.
cheap.
As Marcus turns around, we can see it. A
It's
darkened
so
figure
lame.
chasing him from the depths. Marcus quickly enters his
Like,
house
wow,
and places
dude,
blocks
so
to seal up the
original.
entrance.
So scary.
But it's not enough. A few seconds later, we can see that these blocks are being broken. Then the footage cuts, only
And
to be
fucking
replaced
do
by a
that
title showing
too,
a bunch
you
of
know.
stars. This is it. This is the anomaly that caused Marcus to make a submission on the website. But there's a detail
Boom.
we mustn't overlook. How could Marcus even know about this website? Well, consider that the video title is Instructed. It implies that
I
Marcus
used myself
isn't doing
at
this of his
making
own
a
volition.
mistake with the dirt
Someone has
block.
instructed him to submit it. But who? The only reasonable character would be Star. We know that they have been communicating with Marcus, so it seems plausible that they're the ones who sent him to the website. If we look at the screen recording
Yeah, sure,
video
it's
in more
nighttime.
detail, we can find a
I
few
wanna
frames
get
that tell us what the
jump scared
website
for real.
is.
Especially by Creeper.
MinecraftAnomalies.neocities.org. After all these years, the site is still up. When we look at it, something
Nice.
jumps out to us. A list of REIJ anim codes. While they were partially visible in Instructed, on the site we can see the entire list. It's a sequence of numbers separated by line breaks. numbers themselves are easy to decode. By using the simple cipher of 1 equals A, 2 equals B, all the way up to 26 equals Z, we can rewrite the codes in plain text. Yet this does little to quell the mystery. We are left with words that appear to have little relation to one another, from Safari to infrastructure to colorblind. Unfortunately, this appears to be a dead end. However, the website is not the only thing to find in the video of Marcus submitting his anomaly. About a minute in, there's a link that appears, and it connects to a Google Drive file called marksworld.rar. And all of a sudden, we have the ability to take a look at Mark's save file for ourselves. But before we do that, we should snoop around the archive to see if there's anything interesting hidden within. In the World 4 folder, we discover a file called marcus.txt. Hello. It appears you have been snooping around in Marcus's MC jar file. You want answers? They lie deeper than that. The void isn't the only thing here. The void is the most tame of all things. I'm glad we worked together to recreate Marcus's house. At that point, he'll be used to being down there. We'll be able to finally go back to reality. And Marcus, if you are reading this, I wish the best of luck for you and your little friend you tried to hide from me. Sincerely, the author. Using a tool such as Multi-MC, we can easily load this world into an instance of Minecraft Alpha 1.0.11 and explore. It quickly becomes clear that this save file is from about the time when the anomaly video was submitted. However, as we search, we notice that there are several subtle differences, which tell us that this world is at least slightly newer than what we've seen. First, there are several iron door traps just outside the house. These will trap whoever or whatever steps on the pressure plate in the center. They're presumably designed to catch one of the void beings, or perhaps Star. We can take this opportunity to get a better look at the structure that has appeared. It's a giant hollow rectangular prison made of bedrock. On the top are several rows of blocks with torches on them. Most are also made of bedrock, although a few are made of dirt. A little ways away, there's a floating structure with pressure plates above an icy lake, an area that is yet to be seen in the videos. Things get more interesting when we go underground. In the mine, we can see that Marcus has sealed up the entrance to the pressure-plated iron door. Now that we have the save file, we can see what lies beyond. It's a hallway of 30 iron doors and pressure plates. Unfortunately, there's nothing at the end.
And when did I become so boring?
The other side is more interesting. We can finally enter one of the rows of iron doors. We find a dark cave with exposed bedrock. There are a couple of holes in the ground leading to the void beneath.
Minecraft's progression has a lot of
cave is a cobblestone
moments
wall.
of lull
Behind
like
it,
this,
there's a really odd room.
where nothing
Glass is
really
covered up
happens
the
and all you
ground,
can do is
and the
wait.
walls are made of bricks. In the back of the room is a
Unless you do
facade of a
something
wooden house embedded into the
incredibly
wall.
stupid
There's a chest that contains
for
several
the
items
sake
in a
of
strange
injecting
configuration.
some
The
excitement
purpose of this area is far from
in the
obvious.
progression.
However, we do know that this room was created after
Otherwise,
the
if you
observations video.
just wanted
Bricks were not craftable until Alpha
do things
1.0.11,
as easily and as
meaning this
efficiently
wouldn't
as
have existed
possible,
in version 7
then you have no
videos.
choice but to
There's
be
something
bored.
else of note. Mark's world contains a cave system that is accessible from an entrance near the icy
Another
lake.
issue with
Following
Minecraft's
this cave
progression,
leads to a vertical drop to another room with bedrock exposed. There's a crafting
you
table
can
as well as a
potentially
furnace.
do
We
something
have not
with
seen
those
this room
lulls
before,
by
and
doing something
unfortunately,
creative,
it will
an
never make
important
another appearance.
part of
It
Minecraft's
remains a mystery
progression.
to this day. The final
But
elements
once
of
you're
note in
done,
Mark's world are
you've
a
done
few
all
new
you
signs,
can with your
one in the
creative
house and one on
projects.
the ice lake.
You're limited once
Both of
again
these link
to what you
unlisted
can do in
YouTube
those
videos.
builds.
The sign in
Because
the
of your
house connects to a
progress.
video called
If
Third
maybe you
World.
can't craft
We see
something
Marcus
yet
descend into the mine and seal
that
the
you
iron
need,
door
that you
on the
want to
right side,
incorporate into the
telling us that
build,
this
or
video is
some
from
other
before the world.
shenanigans, then
Next, he crafts a full
yeah, all
set
you
of
can
diamond
really do is
armor.
wait.
Then he enters an iron door on the left side,
Be
which leads
patient.
to the bedrock cave and the strange house that
Play
we just
something
discovered.
That
We
at
don't learn
best
much about this place.
is
Marcus walks
is
around in the
tiresome.
The second sign leads to a
grindy.
video called Outside the Skybox Lies the Ultimate Truth of the... It's a short little video showing the tentacled
It
moon
is
with
nice
a red
that
dot.
since Minecraft is a
And then
creative
there's a
game,
public
that's
video
something
called
you can
Unused
do
3.
in
This one
between,
must have been
unlike
recorded
other
much later, as it takes place in
RPGs.
Minecraft Alpha 1.2.5.
Like when you're shiny
released on
hunting, at
December 1st,
best you're a
2010.
streamer and
But
you
this
can
video
talk to
may not be
people
Marcus.
while you're doing
If it
the
is, then
grind.
it's recorded on a different world from the ones we've seen so far.
Otherwise,
Whoever
tough
it
luck.
is, they head out into the night and see a void being out in the distance.
At the very
Suddenly,
least,
they
shiny hunting
disappear.
is
The player
optional.
returns to their house to an increasing
Something you do
cacophony of
because
sounds
you
before
have
seeing
a
a
bit
void
of a
creature
gambling
slide out
addiction,
of the wall.
perhaps. Jesus Christ.
It's here that the story takes a turn. To this point, we've been seeing things from mostly Mark's perspective. An increasing number of anomalies are afflicting his world, and he responds with attempts to investigate and figure out what's going on. But all of that changes with the next video. In Demo 01, we're suddenly no longer with Marcus, and we enter the second phase of the Mark 101 story.
This looks really nice, honestly. Looks like a structure. Which, yeah, that's definitely one way to describe my build. It's a structure. Yes, the floor is made out of floor.
Like the one we've been seeing thus far. The textures are dramatically altered compared to normal Minecraft. The palette is mostly monochrome, save for the occasional purple highlight. Chests look different, as well as the UI. The toolbar has been replaced by a page and check and X icons. There's another major difference, the version. Up on the top left, we see that this is labeled Minecraft VoidX version 0.0.1. Furthermore, the skin is different from Mark's skin. Suffice to say, we have found ourselves in a totally new place. But where? The video shows the character wandering through a location with many hallways. As we watch, we notice that there are several titles that say Void Error on them. There are also some blocks that appear to be covered by a bluish substance. Then there is a section of a wooden house in stark contrast to the rest of the area. This too has a bluish tint. The person recording does not appear to be totally confident. They walk in a winding pattern, turning around frequently. At one point, they stop right up against the wall and move the camera as if they are seeing something. Then they open up a chest and pull out a page similar to the one in their inventory.
A true horror game protag. A true horror fiction protag.
The player turns the page and signs the book, and we learn that this video is
There would
from
be
Star's
no horror,
perspective.
there were no
A curious
idiots.
development. Star returns the book to the chest and walks back to the initial room.
Don't quote me
They
on
stand on
that.
the central tile, and the video fades away with yet another bluish tint.
JoJo's is the only
During the
horror
final few
series I
frames,
know
we
that
get a
has
glimpse of
characters
Star's
that are
skin.
actually
The player
smart,
must appear and talk to
for the
Marcus.
most part.
If Marcus does not
There's still a
believe
lot
that
of
Star is
stupidity
from this
that
world,
happens there.
The video we just saw certainly adds credence to that
Like,
idea.
oh,
Star is not even in the
I
same
guess
world as Minecraft.
I thought the rain sounded like Josuke.
The following video is called Demo 02.
Oh,
It
sure,
starts
it's
with another
midnight. I
shrouded
can't
message.
even leave this open
Shields
since
may
I'm
be
gonna be
durable.
going to bed.
It appears to take place in the same location as the previous video. However, someone new is recording, as evidenced by the white skin. The video begins in the same central room as last time. As the player walks, we notice a few changes. First, a reddish substance is now present on some of the walls, replacing the blue version. This substance appears as though it may be related to the reddish obsidian that Marcus saw in his world. The player stumbles across a wall with a mysterious painting on it. It appears to show a night sky with a half moon in the center. On the four corners are
That
several
isn't even
symbols, a
Minecraft
star,
anymore.
an X, a clump of red dots, and a checkerboard texture barely visible. The player returns to the main hallway and opens the chest containing the book written by Star. They read it briefly before throwing it into an adjacent dark pit. Then they open the book in their inventory. It seems
A
similar
common
at first to Star's
mistake.
book, but there's an additional note. If you see any repeating patterns,
Prevailing
report them from
belief.
somebody named Sai.
More accurately, I
The following
suppose.
page asks if there should be a report, and the player types Y for yes. When they go to sign the book, our suspicions are confirmed. This is indeed a different
That
player
in
than
order
Star.
to
Their
continue
name
a
is X
story
instead.
that escalates the
Interestingly, we've
tensions
seen both a star
and
and an X
conflict,
in the
and
painting.
everything should
Is there
keep
some connection between
escalating.
these two players? X returns the book to the chest.
Even
and
in
walks to the
slice of
central
life
room
stories,
once
you
more.
see this happen.
As they stand on the central tile, we get a shot of the head of their skin. It contains a single X.
To
Next
a
video
novice
is called
author,
Workers.
all they can
It
really
appears to be
do,
recorded by X again, and they start in the
their
central
only
room.
real
They have
possible
the
way
book
to
in their
interpret
inventory.
such a
It's a
storytelling mechanic
Apparently, a malfunction is causing the void errors
is
that
to
we
do
see
stuff
on the
like
walls,
this.
and this book contains instructions to remove them. X should go to the terminal room and
Other way
type the
around.
command level.void.expunge. This will only work on the main terminal. It takes X a while to figure out where to go. During their searching, we see that this area is bigger than we initially realized. There's a seemingly endless supply of hallways and walls. Eventually, they locate the stairs and enter the terminal room, a cavernous place with a huge white dome on top. We see that X has the ability to fly. Are they perhaps an admin on the server? X finds the appropriate terminal, runs the command, and the video ends. If you were paying attention back in Demo 02, you noticed that one of the pages contained a sequence of letters and numbers. This is a YouTube link. If we type in youtube.com/watch?v=, we are led to an unlisted video. It's called Void Exp, the same name of the strange new Minecraft version. In this video, Marcus begins within his house, but soon exits and walks around outside. Then there's a loud noise, and we see our third shadowy title. However, shields can be broken. Marcus finds himself in the Void X world. His confusion is evident. He explores, but is unable to find his way out of the hallway. The next video posted on Marcus' channel continues in Void X. X is there to greet Marcus. Unsurprisingly, X tells Marcus that he's not supposed to be here. Then he asks to follow him. When they reach a dark hallway,
He just said he wasn't supposed to be there.
Soon they reach the outside. X tells Marcus that he's
Oh.
caused more trouble than he thinks. Then the video freezes. Suddenly it returns with a glitchy sound.
Oh
We
my
see
god!
that Star is standing upon a ledge as well as a point.
There's jingle physics!
We discover that Sai is in the area. Sai says that they are here and is clearly upset. He asks why
Amazing.
the devs didn't stay for this sky before commanding X to get them here. In the background, we see a second void being rising behind X. As X tells Marcus that this is not his matter, the being sneaks up behind him and the video cuts. There's a dark shot of a room full of void beings right before the end of the video. The title of this video was V equals and then several numbers and letters, a connection to another YouTube video. But this one is not on the Mark 101 channel. Instead, it's on a channel called Sai. We just saw Sai in the previous video. Now we have a channel that gives some footage from their perspective. The video is entitled Investigating a Breach in Sky 4 Sector 1. This gives us a name for the titled area that we've seen in the past few videos. This video appears to show the aftermath of the breach. Sai is with two new players called D1 and D2. Their skins as well as Sai's commentary tell us that they are developers. Sai says that another breach event has occurred, leading to the wall becoming partially cracked. They mentioned that, according to X, there were 5 entities present, including Mark 101, X, Star, Subjugate, and Integrity. We've seen the first 3 before, but this is the first we've heard of Subjugate and Integrity. The only things these could logically be are the